course we thought that movies could make the world better and could illuminate contemporary life, and that artists didn't have to just be employees, that artists could be, stand with the other leaders of society and contribute.
The film business was, a decadent, decaying, emptied whorehouse, and it had to be assaulted, and so you had that student film mentality that, let's pick up the banner of Godard and walk in there and take it over.
European films of the 60s. Those were the most powerful influences on American filmmakers at that time.
French New Wave, the Italian New Wave, films from Japan.
Truffaut and Romer.
Soda Giant Ray.
Or Rene, let's say, or Godard.
My favorite was Buñuel, actually.
There's Renoir, and then there's everybody else.
We were tremendously conscious that these people like Fellini and Godard and Antonioni and others were working in a different way of storytelling that we were.
Breaking out of the seamless style of the classical cinema of Hollywood, which we all loved, but seemed to be a part of another world, in a way. And this world was new and open, and anything was possible.
One thing that Godard said, which really affected me, he said, the way you can beat the studio system is by locking them inside their studios and going out and shooting in the street, because the whole world's a soundstage and they're pretending it's all inside their building.
Truffaut's fluid camera was an extraordinary experience, and the handheld sort of quality, the rough quality. I mean, I realized that you could do almost anything if your heart and your spirit was in the right place for the movie that you were making.
These were new forms. This was a new way of storytelling. The concepts and the execution were highly original. Now, they may have had their roots in American filmmaking of another period, but it was not disguised so much as transformed.
I was influenced by the European filmmakers' affection for American films. Their point was that in the studio system, despite the factory-like nature of the business, there were those filmmakers whose personality transcended all events, and whose personality you could feel in the work, no matter who wrote it, no matter who produced it, or in fact, no matter who was in it. Hawks's movies are very personal to him, and reflected very much his particular code of behavior, his code of honor, his philosophy of life, his attitude toward men and women. And yet it was always done within the framework of a story and a movie that you didn't have to be initiated into to follow.
Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
If there's a couple of things I can say most about the 70s, what have we left the industry with? A lot of movies nobody's seen or really caught up with. But they make a statement, not just about that decade, but about those of us that are still marching, incidentally, and have now left a history, but are still making history.
If you look at the titles of just the Academy Award nominees, let's say, it's a blend of films the likes of which we've never seen in this country. Never. Everybody started taking off in these different directions and doing these wildly disparate movies that were personally driven in a way, and not in any way factory not product. They were the opposite of product.
I think the independent film world is where it's at now. Absolutely where it's at. You're getting wonderful, wonderful films out of it. And of course you're getting some that aren't so wonderful. But it's original. That's the thing, and that's what those 70s films were. They were original. Original means you've never seen it before.
I think there's some great big Hollywood movies that are just terrific. But there's a lot of them that are real crap, too. There's a lot of independent films that are really crap. It's just being able to have an intelligent distributor, be able to cipher through, and also be able to give people an opportunity to see what they want to see.
I think it's wonderful that someone can make an ingenious, entertaining film that can make $100 million in a day. I bless him and admire him. But for that to be the entire cinema is like the entire pharmaceutical business being devoted only to tranquilizers and Viagra.
There has to be the personal statement. Otherwise, the culture is going unrepresented on a deep level.
I'm hoping to do Crouching Jew, Hidden Tiger, about a Jewish guy who starts to learn how to fly, a rabbi. But I don't know if I can get the money.
Every once in a while, there's this moment of childish glee, and we say, oh, it's so great, like you can do this, and my God, film is so amazing. You take this piece and take that piece and put them together and they turn into something else. That amazement is true. I mean, the cinema is like that. It is magic. And I think to always be capable of being an amateur, of being a beginner, means that you're always doing it for love and pleasure.
That's the thrill of filmmaking to me. The thrill of failure, potential failure. This may not work. Yeah, but if it does work, it's going to be terrific.
I'm always looking for younger people to do something completely new, to push cinema to its limits, to outside its limits, really. I remember when Akira Kurosawa got his Academy Award for his Lifetime Achievement, he said he was about 82 years old, and he said he's just beginning to realize the possibilities of film.
That's why it's so important to me that I do nothing else but crack through the original I'm working, because I haven't done one since the conversation, and quite frankly, I don't know that I'm capable of it. So since I don't know that I'm capable of it, all the more I want to just say, well, I'm going to just keep trying until I do it or die.